Hey guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! Peekaboo. I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available summer 2025, the album, Dad, Shimmy, F. Rock on Gold Dust, Woman. Boost! How are y'all doing today? Okay, so I'm catching up on the drama a little bit. I'm catching up on the drama, mama. I'm catching up on the drama, mama. Yesterday, I did I kind of did a preview to my James Charles video that I'll be doing later in the week. I have to watch, like, all the videos, and I have to watch all the interviews, and apparently that Kayla Malik is coming out, like, she's doing, like, some kind of, like, podcast where she's going to share her whole story and all that kind of stuff. So when all that happens, and I think, like, the court date is set for the 7th, which is tomorrow. So when all that happens, I will come out with the James Charles video. Once I've gotten caught up with all the information and I know what I'm talking about, I will come out with that. Because so many people have asked me to cover the James Charles situation. But it's funny because yesterday I posted my, like, preview video of kind of talking about it. And people were like, I was waiting for you to talk about this. I was waiting for you to talk about this. My DMs in the last week, since I haven't been filming, were filled with several different stories. I had some Jeffree Star things on there, so I'll be talking about that probably tomorrow. I had all kinds of things. One of the things that I got a lot about was that people wanted me to talk about was Jojo Siwa. And this whole situation with the Big Brother house and her building this friendship/relationship with this guy that was in the house that was on, like, Love Island or Temptation, I don't know. But anyway, and then apparently she broke up with her girlfriend at the reunion. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna find out. We're gonna live react to it here in a second. I'm gonna find an article and I will show you how this drama channel, how I do my world investigations. I love when people, like, they'll be like, you know, like, investigative, they call themselves investigative journalists. I have never called myself an investigative journalist. I have never called myself anything other than a candle review company. No, I've never called myself anything other than a shit-talking, gossip tea drama channel. That's what I am, okay? I'm no investigative journalist over here. But anyway, we're gonna find out here. I'm gonna look up an article and we will find out all the details on Jojo Siwa and what is going on with this new friendship relationship that she's built in the Big Brother house. I've read a little bit about it. I've watched some of the clips of the interviews they did with Jojo and this guy, and then I heard that she broke up with her girlfriend, or her girlfriend broke up with her at the reunion show, or something like that. I don't know, okay? I don't know. I'm just happy they had a reunion where they could get them all on, because listen, with Sister Wives, they won't even do a reunion where they sit in the same room. By the way, yesterday I posted my very sad Sister Wives video. If you watch Sister Wives this week, you know why. It was very, very sad. Heartbreaking. The hardest episode I've ever watched of Sister Wives in 19 seasons. And I have watched every episode of even Christine's wedding. I had to watch twice. So I watched every single episode. But if you don't know, I have a channel called Peter Watches TV. It's linked below. It's like the first thing in the description box. And I'm having so much fun over there. And I'm reacting to a lot of shows. I do a lot of true crime over there. All the new true crime documentary series that come out. But I react to Sister Wives every week. 1,000-Pound Sisters with Amy and Tammy Slayton. I'm going to be picking up, again, the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives when it comes out at the end of May. There's a couple shows I'm picking up. I do a lot of reality TV over there as well, like The Housewives, The Valley. I'll be picking up here soon once I get caught up. But last night, I got caught up with 1,000-Pound Sisters and the first episode of the new show, Polyfam, about a closed quad family. They are a polyamorous family, and so 2 couples, and so I watched that last night. Took a lot of notes about that, and I'm going to be putting both of those videos up today to get caught up, because both of those shows are on tonight, in case you love to watch TV. Over there I say, if you like to watch TV and you like to talk about TV, why not subscribe to my channel? So go over there and check it out. So anyway, I've had a lot to do instead of catching up with the Jojo Siwas of the world. Okay, I have to be honest with you. You know, I started talking about Jojo Siwa I think around the time that I was covering the Colleen Ballinger allegations and the scandal and all that stuff that came out, because Jojo Siwa and Colleen Ballinger have been very, very close through the years. And that was one of the reasons why I kind of like Jojo Siwa was on my radar. But let me give you kind of the background history of my knowledge of Jojo Siwa. So, she's a dancer. Jojo Siwa is a dancer. I'm a dancer. I'm a dancer too. Point your toes, Nia! Jojo Siwa is a dancer. She's a dancer. She sure is. And she's real famous for those JoJo bows. No, here's my history of Jojo Siwa. I have watched every episode of every season of Dance Moms. The original Dance Moms. The OG Dance Moms. I've watched every season of it from the very, very beginning all the way through to the very end. I've watched every episode of Dance Moms. So I'm very well versed in the beginnings of Jojo Siwa. And then I know she started like her YouTube channel, and then she started hanging out with the Colleen Ballingers of the world and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then she came, you know, to the JoJo bows that she made, you know, $10 million off of and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, and then she came out, and then she's had a couple girlfriends and stuff through all that. That's about what I know. Oh my God, I forgot about that song that she had. Well, last summer, she played like 4 Pride Days, you know, because she's this, you know, gay role model, apparently, and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, and then she put out that song, Karma's a Bitch, or something like that. Apparently, that song that she allegedly stole from that, I think it was Britt Smith or somebody like that. She said she didn't steal it, but allegedly stole that song. And then she put that music video out where it was like, she was on a boat with a bunch of other lesbians, and then she jumped off the boat, and then she became like underwater ice capade, and then she was on the beach, and she was doing dance. It was kind of like Dance World Federated Wrestling is what it kind of was. I was so confused about it. I was. But anyway. So, and then she was on Celebrity Big Brother UK, where all the top stars go. That's where all the top stars go, is Celebrity Big Brother or Big Brother UK. I don't know. I don't watch it. Okay? I don't watch it. So, but apparently that's where all the big stars go these days. So anyway, so people were messaging me about this. I'd already seen it come up because when I would like roll through Instagram, I would see like the reels come up and stuff like that of and I'm like, why is Jojo Siwa everywhere all of a sudden? And it was because of this Big Brother thing. And then I was like, I watched some reel and it was her, and they were like, it was this interview she did with that guy and Chris something, I don't know. Anyway, but then I like watched the interview, and she was kind of like, well, we have feelings, but we're not really sure what our feelings are. It was just like this real short clip of it. And I was like, I'm confused. What? I thought you had a girlfriend waiting at home. I thought, is this not everybody's fear? No, seriously. Like, you know when your partner is like, oh, I want to go on this reality show, or I want to go to that reality show. I mean, I would love to go to a reality show. Now, I don't think I could do Survivor, and I couldn't do, well, my cousin Caroline, she always wants to do Amazing Race. I'm like, Caroline, we would fight too much. And she's like, but that would be what people love, you know? My husband and I have kind of talked about doing Amazing Race too. We think that would be kind of fun, but I don't know that I could do it. Like, this season, it's real simple. Like, they're making mozzarella, and they have to, like, do dances. And so, like, I could do all that, because I told you, like, I'm a dancer, you know what I'm saying? Working at the car wash. I could do all that. I could do the dances and all that kind of stuff, and making mozzarella, and they had to, like, last week they had to, I mean, we're down to the final 5, right? And last week, the detour was you either make mozzarella or you restring a mandolin. You know, back when I watched it back in the day, it was like you had to Gumby. You had to, remember Gumby? You had to, Gumby, not Gumby. Do you remember Gumby back in the day? Okay, you had to, see, this is where my head goes, okay? I cannot keep a story straight, because then I'm thinking Gumby, and then for some reason I was thinking Saturday Night Live. Did Gumby start on Saturday Night Live? I don't know. But then I was thinking, do y'all remember Toonses, the driving cat? And my cousin Caroline, she had a cat, and she named it Toonses. Do you remember that? That Toonses, the driving cat, and it was that cat, and be like, oh no, Toonses. Do you remember that? Okay, anyway. So, but that's kind of how my mind works. If you want to get inside the mind of Peter Monn, it's like, it just kind of like leapfrogs from one thing to the next. It's like, and I'm like, and then I'm like, oh, what? Oh, I'm in a Jojo Siwa video. And then all of a sudden I remember, like, this isn't just like I'm sending this to my girlfriend. There's like people actually watching this video wanting to find out what I think about Jojo Siwa. Well, not much, actually. I don't really care about Jojo Siwa. I don't really know why anybody cares about Jojo Siwa. You know, it's interesting that we live in this world where it's like, you know, people want to ask Jojo Siwa what she thinks about, like, world events and things like that. Why the fuck do we care what Jojo Siwa thinks about world events? Does she have an education in political science? Does she have life experience other than being a child star? Which, you know, I mean, that comes with its own series of, I mean, maybe we would ask her questions about what it's like to be a child star. Maybe we'd ask her questions like what it's like to be a reality star. But I don't know why we would go to Jojo Siwa to ask her about world events. I think that's kind of weird, don't you? Anyway, I don't think, she is no role model of mine, okay? I know last year she put that Ice Capades outfit, and listen, she did her best and stood right next to every drag queen at every Pride Day that she could get booked for and paid for in full. And God bless her, okay, that she did that. But she does not represent me, okay? Jojo Siwa, I think, is problematic. I know that she's young, okay, and all that kind of stuff, but she's got enough adults around her that they should be leading her in the right direction and things like that. I don't understand. Like, there's a couple things in the last couple years, and I'm not putting them in the same category. I just don't understand, okay? Like, I just don't understand, first of all, the interest in Gypsy Rose Blanchard at all. Like, the girl did her time. You know, she was part of killing her mother. She admitted to it. I mean, and now she's a superstar. I don't understand that. I don't really understand that, okay? I also don't understand our interest in people like Jojo Siwa. I just don't get it whatsoever. But maybe that's just me, you know? I'm sure the kids that, like, grew up with her that are, you know, 30 now and stuff like that. But I even watched the show, you know? I'll be honest with you. If I was going to, like, Google, like, what happened to somebody, and I know when I say this, somebody's going to be like, oh, blah, 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 she put a record out and she's on some show. Because the last time I said this, I don't Google what happens because I don't care, okay? Because back in the day, my friend Melissa and I, we would watch that show every week, followed by that Diana DD4L. But I am quicker to Google, where is Nia today, and is she pointing her toes, than I could give a rat's ass about Jojo Siwa. But so many people ask me what I thought about this situation. Well, what I think about it is, not much. I don't care. I don't care who she's dating. I don't care on what reality show she's on. I felt bad for Jojo when she was on the reality show, because the girls, you want to talk about mean girls, okay? Those girls were so mean to Jojo. Jojo would just stand there in her little bow, and I loved it. You know, that bow was, like, bigger than her and all that kind of stuff. And I just loved it. And she was like, the thing I loved about JoJo and Dance Moms was that she was so authentically herself. Like, I think that if you watched it back in the day, like, that's what we all loved about JoJo, was she was so authentically herself. She just was like, this is who I am, and no, I'm not the greatest dancer in the world, because now she's kind of, like, known for being this dancer. I don't know if people remember, but she was always at the bottom of the pyramid, okay? Listen, she wasn't getting nowhere near the top, okay? Listen, she didn't got nothing on Chloe or Maddie, okay? She was always at the bottom. But you know what? And Jesslyn, listen, God bless Jesslyn. She just zip her mouth and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, and then JoJo and her mom, they had that own problematic reality show, you know. Didn't treat those girls very well. But that's for another video. But anyway, but that's where, you know, like, I think as an audience, we all fell in love with JoJo, because she was just this little girl on stage, you know, just doing her best, and she just loved to dance, and she just wanted to be part of something, and she just loved those bows so much, and all those girls, oh my God, my tripod fell. But what I was saying was, those girls were so mean to her. They just laugh and ridicule her behind it. Anyway, but now when I see interviews with Jojo Siwa, she's, like, always on. She's like, what? Yeah, a bow? No, I don't wear bows anymore. I got my hair cut. Or she's at Disney, and she's, like, drunk, and she's like, hey, like, I'm drunk at Disney. Like, I'm like, girl, you, like, Miley Cyrus did it, okay? She, like, wrote the script, she did it, she played the role, and it was authentic, and now she's kind of on the other side of that, okay? Because I love this kind of, like, you know, Miley Cyrus went through it all, right? But they always kind of try to, like, reinvent Miley Cyrus. I don't really get it, if you want to know the truth. I don't get it at all. So what's my interest in Jojo Siwa? Well, not much. But let's find out what this scandal is all about, all of us together. Because when I do this video, you guys are so nice to me. You are so nice. People are like, Peter, I don't even know who these people are. I just watch the videos. Thank you. Thank you for being a friend. Down the road and back again. My heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. Okay, so anyway, let's look this up, shall we? I did look it up last night, and there was an article from People magazine, and because they, you know, they're the best about it. They have platformed Gypsy Rose Blanchard like she is literally the Meryl Streep of pop culture. I mean, People magazine, if Gypsy Rose Blanchard drops a turd, they are on it. Gypsy Rose Blanchard done shit in the toilet. People magazine has written an article about it, okay? Can you imagine, like, going to, I don't know, like, Berkeley or NYU or something like that, and getting a degree in journalism and working for People magazine, and then your job is to like headline the titles for every article that's written about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. You're just calling your girlfriend and you're like, I cannot wait to get out of here. What? Well, I can't hardly afford my rent because I get paid so shitty here doing these Gypsy Rose Blanchard titles. But yes, let's meet up for a drink. It's like they are probably so bitter about their lives. Anyway, okay. Jojo Siwa. Jojo Siwa. Do you ever think that people say Siwa? Like, when I go places, people mispronounce my last name a lot. It's Monn, M-O-N-N. I always tell people it's like, hey, Monn, like in Jamaica, but with an extra N. But anyway, people mispronounce my name a lot. Do you think people call her Jojo Siwa? Wasn't there somebody else? Oh, no, wasn't there another child star that had kind of a similar last name? I can't even remember. But anyway, do you think should we call her Jojo Siwa? Well, we know her name's Jojo Siwa. We won't be disrespectful. Okay. Jojo Siwa, big brother. Hold on a second. Can you hear them out there? They're mowing. Welcome to the suburbs, baby. Okay, Jojo Siwa, big brother, Chris Hughes. Is that person's name? I should ask my husband. He watches all that Love Island stuff. Scandal. Oh, it didn't pull up nothing for Scandal. Okay, here it is. Wait. Here it is. The 21-year-old singer, dancer, and former Dance Among Stars is facing criticism after her ex-partner, Australian influencer Kath Ebbs, accused Siwa of emotional cheating and said Siwa ended their relationship at a celebrity Big Brother after party. Oh my Lanta. Okay, here it is. 3 days ago, E! Online. Now, I think they're pretty legit, don't you think? They're too legit to quit. Okay, let's get in here and let's read Untangling. Now, too legit to quit. I just said that. Is that from somebody problematic? Hold on a second. I can't remember that. Too legit. Was that Bobby Brown? I can't remember who sang that. But if I said too legit to quit, who sang that song? Probably somebody. MC Hammer. Is MC Hammer problematic? I don't even know. I'll be honest with you. Oh, well. If he is, I'll make my apology video tomorrow. Okay. So, Untangling Jojo Siwa. Oh, Poker Face! I just got to add for Poker Face. Poker Face comes out this week. I love that show so much. With Natasha Leon. Do you guys watch that? Oh, my God. I love it so much. Oh, by the way, I wore this shirt today. Get to be sporty, Because now that she did the UK Big Brother, I mean, Jojo Siwa is kind of like Sporty Spice. I guess she's kind of like Cheater Spice now, though. I don't know. Anyway, Untangling Jojo Siwa's Untangling Jojo. This is kind of a fun video to make, actually. I mean, I feel bad. I really do feel bad for these people that I don't even know or care about. But anyway, it's sad. It's sad. It's a sad news day. Actually, it is a really sad news day when I'm having to cover this bullshit. Untangling Jojo Siwa's complicated relationship history. How old is she? She's 21. Baby, how complicated of a history can you have? How complicated of a relationship history can you have? Now, I remember back in the day, I started going out to the gay bars when I was 18 years old. I had me there was always like Mr. Right and then Mr. Right Now. You're looking for a husband or you're looking for a night. You know what I'm talking about, that kind of deal. I can remember back in the day, oh my God, my friends and I, in the summertime was the best. Summertime and the living's easy, said Janis Joplin. But anyway, this summer, I loved it, okay? This is back in the day. Listen, didn't nobody was talking about skin problems and things like that. We would go to the tanning bed. Then we would lay out at the pool all day long. And we would just drink and smoke cigarettes and meet guys at the pool. It was apartment pool, Sometimes we go, like, to my dad's house to his pool. But mostly we went to the apartment complex pool. It was so fun. And then we would, like, take these 4-hour naps. Oh, we'd go to the mall, and stuff like that before we laid out by the pool. We'd pick out the outfit for the night that we were going to wear, At my apartment, the first apartment I had, they had like these volleyball courts out. So there'd always be like all these people playing volleyball and stuff like that. It was so much fun. But then we'd take like these 4-hour naps and then we'd get ready. And then you didn't go out till like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, And then you always had to find a boyfriend. And then I can remember back in the day when I first started going out, I mean, I think since I've gotten sober, I have 3 boyfriends, well, 3 boyfriends that now my third one turned into my husband, Alex. But anyway, 3 boyfriends since I got sober. But before that, I think I had 100 or something like that. No, I did. Every time I'd be like, are we going to be boyfriends now? But anyway, I have this guy, I have to tell this story, this is so funny. I had this guy, like, I don't even know when this was. It was between boyfriend, after I got sober, boyfriend number 1 and boyfriend number 2. And I was out with some friends one night, and this guy comes up to me, real cute, had like this, like, you know, sailor's kind of chunky sweater on and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, you look so familiar to me. And he was like, yeah, he was like, we used to talk back in the day and stuff like that. I was like, back in the day? He's like, yeah, when we were both like 21 or whatever, we're the same age. And we're good friends today, we're good friends. But anyway, so he was like, I always wanted to hit on you. I always thought that you were so cute and so funny. And I was like, oh, well, why didn't you? He's like, because you literally always had a boyfriend. I was like, I kind of did, didn't I? I always had a boyfriend. No, listen, I always had a boyfriend. So, but maybe I had complicated relationship problems at 21 too. I probably did. I don't know. Anyway, untangling Jojo Siwa's complicated relationship history, found on E! News. Though we're not in the business of ranking all of Jojo Siwa's exes, how many does she have that you would even rank them? And why would we care when she's going on Joey Graceffa's YouTube channel and she's ranking lesbians, ranking gays, pick the lesbian? Why would you care, okay? I don't think that's problematic. Jojo Siwa, she literally got on Joey Graceffa's channel and it's like, pick the lesbian out of a line, okay? That is so feeding into the stereotypes of the LGBTQI plus community. This is why she is no role model to me, okay? When we have fought those stereotypes, and I do believe some stereotypes are based on truth, but listen, to pick a gay person out of a line today, that is so disrespectful that gay people would even have those on their videos. So listen, put her exes up here, baby. I'll rank them all day long. I'll rank them all day long. Probably over Jojo Siwa and her beaux. Though we're not in the business of ranking all of Jojo Siwa's exes, you can decide which of the iced coffee singers. She has a song called Iced Coffee. That's a cute title, but I've never heard it, and I don't care to hear it. Singers past paramours deserve a spot at the top of the pyramid. She was never at the top of the pyramid, baby. This writer did not. That was cute, but I don't think they watched the show. Jojo Siwa insists she was not a bad girl, and she did not do some bad things. She's never been a bad girl. She's boring. And despite what ex Kath Ebbs might think, she never effed around with housemate Chris Hughes while filming Celebrity Big Brother, UK. Days after Ebbs shot a TikTok video, April 26, detailing how they were dumped at the after party by their girlfriend of 5 months. 5 months. Well, I mean, in gay world, that's about 10 years, just to translate it for y'all. Okay. By their girlfriend of 5 months, with Chris in the next room, Siwa choreographed a response. As a Dance Mom alum explained during an April 30 appearance on the Vile Files, that's not entirely the story. For starters, noted the 21-year-old, she had intended to save her tears and any potential state of the relationship talks for another time, given Ebbs, 27, had said they weren't coming to the post-season bash. And then, all of a sudden, we're at the rap party for Big Brother. I'm getting cussed out, Siwa explained. I understand they're angry and they're coming at me, but I also keep reiterating, like, I'm not in a place to talk. Baby, listen. If my man went on a reality show and then fucked around or had an emotional affair or whatever, I don't give a shit what place you're in, okay, baby? We are going to have that fucking talk, okay? We are going to have that talk in that minute, all right? I feel like I'm doing one of those AIT, am I the asshole? In this moment so far of what I know, Jojo Siwa, you're the asshole. You done lived out an emotional affair on camera for your then girlfriend to have to watch. You want to talk about some painful shit? For all of you out there that have been cheated on, can you even imagine having to see it play out in real time for you to watch and remember every moment of it? Oh, no, Jojo. No, baby. And then you want to tell her that it's not the right time to talk? Oh, fuck that business. Oh, there's another ad for Poker Face. I love that show so much. Anyway, okay. Pressed on if she was ready to exit stage from their relationship, I said, if you ask me tomorrow, I don't know my answer. If you ask me right now, my answer is yes, Siwa admitted. That obviously was taken as a yes. Well, how else would you take that? And why would you not want your partner to be at the rap show anyway? But Siwa insisted she didn't view a romance as everyone's replaceable situation. Kath posted a video basically alluding to Chris and I are the reasons that we broke up. That's not the case, she declared. This is Jojo talking. That is not the truth. Why do we care about these fools? I do not care about this girl at all. Or Chris, I don't know who Chris is. Chris who? I don't care about this person. I don't know this person. I care more about what is going on with Rick and Radine on season 4 of Love After Lockup, okay? That is what I care about right now. Or are Joey and Michael, what's going on with them on season 6 of Love After Lockup? I don't give a fuck about these people. I don't know these people, okay? That is not the truth. And they know that, and I know that. And we all know that. And we all still don't care. I understand. I have to just tell you something funny. Do you ever, like, I find the funniest shit on Facebook. Sometimes from people that I follow or friends with, and other times just stuff that's recommended to me. I'm thinking about maybe over here starting to do funny things I found on Facebook, like hilarious stories. But somebody that I know posted like this real kind of like, it's, oh fuck, you know what, it's my life, and she don't watch my videos anyway. She done broke up with her boyfriend about 19 times, okay? And so she put this whole post up about, you know, I can't believe he broke my heart again. Listen, Linda, first of all, she's like my age, okay? And it was this, she put up 1,000 of these posts at this point, okay? And it's like, I'm reading the comments underneath there, and people are like, oh, I'm so sorry. I can't believe this happened again, blah, 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 whatever, okay? Not that this mutual friend of ours, that I also haven't seen in years, and I thought maybe she had one too many glasses of the Kendall Jackson that night, because she wrote on there, and I love this emoji so much, but maybe not appropriate for this moment. She said, girl, who cares? Or she said, I said, girl. She said, who cares, with the nail emoji. I lived. I was like, baby, you said what we are all thinking. You said what we are all thinking. 19 breakups. Okay, that's 19 red flags. You need to leave the man in the dust. Anyway, she said, okay, wait. That is not the truth, and they know that, and I know that. What's the truth? I understand Chris and I are very tight. Siwa continued, the relationship she and the Love Island alum have defined as strictly platonic. But they also said in the interview that I watched, they don't know where it's going, is what she said, and that she had lots of questions about her sexuality and blah, 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 whatever. You know what I haven't responded to that a lot of people asked me was all that bullshit that Mickey Rourke put her through in the house. I can do that video too, because I do feel bad for her in that situation. But I think we done known that Mickey Rourke done lost his mind about 20 years ago, right? Okay, that's no excuse. That's no excuse for the shit he said. But anyway, we have this very beautiful bond, this very beautiful connection, but don't paint it out to look like I cheated on you with him, because I did not. I will stand on that ground. As for Eb, she told E! News in a statement, it's really unfortunate that my relationship with this person is being reduced to untrue allegations about what happened at a party. Ideally, this will be the last drop the iced coffee singer spills about her past relationship. Musing on the advice she give her younger self, the Nebraska native told E! News in March, I'd be like, hey babe, you're going to experience a lot, and not everybody needs to know. You can keep it under wraps. Oh, she's pissed that this girl came out. Jojo's pissed, baby. She's pissed that she spoke on her name. She came out of pocket. And rightfully so, Jojo. You got fucked, is what you got. Well, you shouldn't have lived this out online. You should have learned that. This is where you know these people, okay? They edit so much in what they show you that when they're on a reality show, they're like, then they get out and they don't know what the fuck they've said, right? Because they done fucked up. I've said fuck. Listen, put $10 in the cuss jar today and we'll be set free. And I am a little guilty because my mom told me that, is what she said. Okay, girl. My mom told me a lot of things, and probably only about 30% of it came true. Whether or not Siwa heeds that guidance, she's fine with whatever karma turns. They are just turning one song after another into this article. You fuck up and you put things in public that you shouldn't be, the self-described CEO of gay pop. Now, I know she said she wanted to invent a new genre, but is she really defined herself as the CEO of gay pop? Explained to E! News in an exclusive interview at the 11th annual. You know, listen, I gotta tell you a story, another story. I used to, back in the day, there was a period where, like, all my friends were lesbians, okay? And they would, like, be in these long-term relationships with these women, and then they'd break up for, like, a month. But while they were broken up, they'd, like, go hook up with, like, you know, a couple men or whatever. And then they get pregnant, and they get back together with these women. I could never figure it out. I was like, are they just like wanting to raise kids together? I was like always confusion about it, right? But then they'd be together for like 20 years and they'd have like 5 kids and stuff like that. I was so confused about it. But Jojo, listen, listen, I did the weight loss journey and she's doing her journey. I don't know what this journey is, but she's doing some kind of journey. She explained to E! News in an exclusive interview at the 11th Annual American Reality TV Awards, November 18th, the same day as she confirmed that she'd ended her 3-month romance with So You Think You Can Dance runner-up Dakayla Wilson. Unfortunately, that's the only way you can learn sometimes. And she's had a lot of relationships. I've had to learn some hard lessons, but they've paid off in the end. And as she continues her search, they got a picture of her with that bow on. Who is that? I don't know who that person is. Mark Batempo or something like that? Okay. And as she continues her search for the mother of her future triplets, I always bring up the Freddie, Eddie, and Teddy conversation right away in a relationship. She told us, who'd care? This is not somebody that needs to be having triplets right now, okay? She can't even get her relationship straight, okay? Consider this the musician's official relationship pyramid. Mark Batempo, okay, somebody she dated when she was 17. I don't care. Kylie Prue. What is the scandal? I don't care about all this shit. Okay, Daily Mail. Let's read that. They're a tabloid, right? Jojo Siwa's ex Kath Ebb seeks comfort in the arms of a friend as she returns to Australia. Jojo Siwa's ex Kath Ebbs has been seen for the first time since returning to Australia after being brutally dumped at this. Well, I mean, no matter how you're dumped, if you're alone in an apartment or at a reunion rap party, it's gonna hurt no matter what, baby, okay? After being brutally dumped at the celebrity Big Brother after party, the Australian influencer, 27, who uses they/them pronouns, was supported by 2 male friends in Sydney on Sunday. Kath appeared. What is this ad for on here? Subscribe, proactive, not sponsored, I'm just reading the ad. Okay, subscribe and save up to 30% off. I remember when that stuff came. Oh, Kylie Jenner screams in pain as she's stuck in 700-pound designer shoes. Oh, the woes of that Kardashian family, I tell you. Okay, Kath appeared emotional as they were embraced by one hunky tattooed man while visiting popular Bondi Cafe Gertrude and Alice. The influencer dressed casually in blue. Why do we care about what she was wearing or what they were wearing? Sorry. Why do we care what they were wearing? Who's this Kath person kissing here? Jojo. Oh, they're kissing Jojo? Kissing a male friend on the lips during an outing in Bondi on Sunday. Oh, it would just look like a friendly kiss. They're trying to turn this into some bullshit is what they're trying to do. After the outing, Kath confirmed their split with JoJo last month after the Dance Mom star called things off just hours after leaving the Big Brother house amid her relationship with co-star Chris Hughes. Viewers speculated that JoJo ended her relationship with Kath because of her close bond with fellow housemate Chris. Shortly after the news... Okay, wait. The caption read, POV, you're watching a 21-year-old girl getting manipulated by a 32-year-old man who just pretended to be her safe space, then discarded her, and there was an ad for Dove Serum Hydration Boost Body Wash. I haven't even looked that up. That's not even in my algorithm, but it does look nice. Anyway, even though she's a lesbian in a full relationship, what's a full relationship? What's a partial relationship? Is there a difference between a partial and a full relationship? I should know because I just watched that show Polyfam last night. And you've got no one to talk to this about, even though you predicted this would happen. Who said that? I don't know who said that. They didn't quote it. It's just in quotes. JoJo and the Love Island star 32 raised eyebrows with their very close bond in the house before spending time enjoying Sunday massages. That sounds like sexy time that a couple comes up with when they want their kids to watch a movie on Sunday, okay, before homework time and baths. That sounds like sexy time. You all know what the fuck I'm talking about when you've been married that way. We don't have no kids, okay, so we don't have to come up with no names. We just do it. But anyway, listen, I could say that we've been married 13 years, together 17 years, but that's some shit that my friends come up with, okay? It's like Sunday massages. What the fuck? This is so weird. And walks in the park after they left the show. Okay, I like Sunday massages, walks in the park, and karma! The American star revealed she was queer and not a lesbian while in the CBB house after having been in a relationship with non-binary content creator Kath since the start of the year. Kath appeared emotional as they were embraced by one friend while visiting. Okay, there's pictures. Oh, he's just being real sweet to Kath. I think that's nice. They're trying to make it out like it's something else. I feel bad for this Kath. Okay, is there more about this? Oh, then they show a picture of Jojo Siwa and this Chris. Jojo jetted home to the U.S. last Monday, reportedly wearing soulmate, after 2 weeks or something, 6 weeks in the Big Brother house. These people done lost their minds. I mean, I love my good Judy Tawny G, and I've known her for 27 years, but I wouldn't even call her my soulmate. My dogs, they were my soulmates. Clothes just, I know somebody felt that in their soul. So there's one person out there who's like, oh, Peter said his dogs were his soulmate. I felt that in my soul. I felt that in my soul, too. My friend Tawny Jean actually said that to me after our dog Pee-Pee passed away. She goes, I think he was your soulmate. And I do. I think all 3 of my dogs were my soulmates. Reportedly wearing soulmate, closed just hours after their first joint interview following Celebrity Big Brother. JoJo's mother, Jesselyn, weighed in on the... Oh, let's hear what Jesselyn had to say. She probably said, I would have loved if they said, do you have a comment? And Jesselyn's comment was, point your toes, Nia. I would have lived for that. She weighed in on the couple's split and the drama. She reposted a comment by a fan who said her daughter broke up with Kath to find herself and that it had nothing to do with Chris. Well, that could be true. In a Reddit forum, but did you have to do it, like, so publicly online? I mean, I guess your journey takes you where your journey takes you, you know? Or like the Pathfinder Nissan ad back in the day. It's not the journey, it's the destination. No, it's not the destination, it's the journey. Or the journey is the destination. The journey is the destination. I just don't think that Kath thought the destination was going to be Celebrity UK Big Brother, you know? I don't. I think I can imagine them, like, you know, having this conversation before JoJo went on Big Brother and be like, damn, and then I'm going to release an album, babe, and we're going to go all over to Pride Days all summer. And yet what we find out is they done got broken up with at the after wrap-up party. Yeah, that sucks. I feel bad. In a Reddit forum, someone said, did you see JoJo's mom reposted this, implying the breakup wasn't related to Chris? How does Jesselyn know? Her daughter's been in the Big Brother house all this fucking time. But Jesselyn, listen, sit on the benches outside the dance room, okay? But about JoJo finding herself. In the video of the TikToker said, Kath has removed the video of Jojo Siwa, and I'll tell you why. I don't think JoJo has split up with Kath because of Chris, and that's the kind of narrative that Kath is trying to put across. No, probably Kath is upset, and they're hurt, and they're speaking out, okay, because they've had to live through, what, 6 weeks to 2 months of Jojo Siwa living out her finding herself on live TV, while Kath is sitting at home being like, what the fuck, I thought this was my girlfriend. That's some painful shit. Don't tell me that any of us out there wouldn't be hurt by that, okay? JoJo has broken up with Kath because JoJo doesn't know who she is. She's figuring out herself. And that's fine, okay? But you don't have to do that on a public platform and hurt somebody on that level. Maybe wait till you get home. Maybe not, you know, I don't know. She went into that relationship, and I know, listen, she's a child star, and she grew up, and we want to make 1,000,001 excuses for these. I mean, she's like worth $10 million or something like that. She'll never have to work another day in her life and whatever, and she's breaking hearts across the world, apparently, okay? Apparently. Or maybe she's releasing an album, and this is all for drama, and people don't really care if they're ending relationships, if it, you know, stirs up drama. I don't know, okay? But I bet she's going to drop an album real soon, okay? She's going to pull an Adele, and it's going to be all about this breakup. Watch. And she'll be back in them Ice Capade outfits on another boat somewhere, you know? She went into that relationship when she shouldn't have, in my opinion. Well, a lot of moms say that. I think every mom in the world's like, I think you're rushing it. Hell, 1,000-pound sisters, you know. Tammy's dating Andrea, and the whole family's worried about her. Amy, after 6 weeks, is moving into Brian's house. Why does Jojo Siwa get a free pass? Because she's finding herself. Fucking Amy and Tammy Slayton are finding themselves, too, and the whole family's eating them alive. And being honest with them, okay? No, we want to give her passes. We want to give her excuses. Okay. Then we shouldn't be asking her opinion about everything, because what that implies is she's still emotionally growing, which I think is true. But then she shouldn't be the representative of anything at 21 years old. Okay. JoJo jetted home. And then, you know what? And Jesselyn, you and your PR people and all that kind of stuff should maybe think about this before you think it's a good idea for her to go on a reality show like Celebrity Big Brother, where she's going to live out her journey online, because that's probably hurtful to the people that she's already in a relationship with. Okay. Listen, baby, I would come to that rap party. I'd have brought me an entourage, okay, of my girlfriends being like, oh, no, ma'am, this is not going down like this. I want to hear what more Jesselyn has to say. She always has something to say. JoJo jetted home to the U.S. last Monday, reportedly wearing, according to The Sun, she was spotted arriving at the airport in an oversized gray hoodie and pink beanie hat, both of which Chris wore on the show. So okay, here's my question, right? And JoJo can do what she wants to do, but if she really cares about this person that she was with for 5 months and don't want to hurt Kath's feelings, why then even put more salt on the wound by wearing this man's clothes that you say that you don't really know where the relationship is going, okay? Because then it doesn't feel like, hey. Because you know what I tell my girlfriends is, if you're going to go through a breakup, because I learned this the hard way and then I did it, take time off. Take 9 months to a year off to find yourself, okay? To find yourself, because you ain't got nothing to give in the middle of this breakup. But it seems like JoJo's just jumping from one thing to the next, right? Maybe that's the advice you should be giving her, Jesselyn. Instead of her being like, hey, got a beanie on. Whose beanie is it? I mean, if I was sitting at home and I was that Kath, I would be like, I'd be pissed, baby. I'd come out with all kinds of interviews. I would be hurt. I would be so hurt. You know? But people don't think about that when they go on these reality shows. They don't care who they hurt at home, what stories they say, and all this kind of stuff. I'm sure there's more to it. And listen, at the end of the day, I respect JoJo and her journey. I do. I respect JoJo and her journey. I respect everything that JoJo went through as a child star. I also respect those girls that were on Jesslyn and JoJo's reality star show that they had a lot to say. I respect a lot of Jojo Siwa's journey. But, baby, we all got a journey, okay? We've all got a journey, you know? If you never saw the movie Precious, you know, with Monique and all that, and it was based on the book Push. If you've never, that's a true story, okay? Watch that movie and Cry Me a River about Jojo Siwa being on Celebrity Big Brother and having $10 million in the bank, okay? And the thing you got to know when you watch that movie is there's 10 million Preciouses out there in the world. Then cry me a river and make a bunch of excuses about Jojo Siwa breaking up with her girlfriend at a red carpet rap party, okay? And why we should feel sorry for Jojo Siwa and make 10 million excuses for her, okay? I feel worse for the people out there that ain't got nobody, okay? And nobody is listening to them. And they just are so muted because they have been so hurt and so abused and so put down for so long that they just feel like that's what life is, okay? So, you know what? Jojo Siwa, I wish you the best on your journey. And let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.